Hey guys, Jason Wiggs here with Sweet and Smoky Barbecue. Today we're actually going to make a some pulled pork for a party that's going on. And so we got to go get all the stuff. My grills are over at my trailer. Got to go over there and get that and come back here and start prepping it, and we'll put them on in the morning. So I'll see y'all in a few seconds. We got to hit the road. Oh, we got to make a pit stop, say hi to Mom if I'm going to be out in the area. All right, now that we came by and said hi to my mom, time to get back on the journey to go get my trailers. All right, well, we're here. So we loaded one of them already. There she is. This right here is our Jim Bowie. Let me walk around here. Oh, suck it in. There's our Jim Bowie. And then over here behind me is our little Davy Crockett. We're over here at my buddy Jeff's house, getting everything loaded up. We are about to get this one loaded, get back to the house, and then we're going to start prepping those butts and start getting them on the grill. So I'll see y'all here in a few minutes once we get everything loaded. All right, we're all loaded, strapped down. Time to head back to the house and let's do this. Let's go. Let's get the car. Oh, it's beeping. There's the wife. So let's head on. See you in a minute. What we're cooking is we're cooking actually 4 Boston butts. And if you're new to barbecue or you're new to smoking meat, the Boston butt is the upper part of the shoulder where it connects to the actual shoulder piece. So when you see a whole shoulder, it's 2 pieces. You have the shank down here, and then you have the actual Boston butt up on top. So that's actually what we're cooking, the upper piece. It's one of the best meats for parties. It's not expensive. You're not too worried about it. You cook it, pull it, serve it for sandwiches, phenomenal. For comps, typically I'll run a shoulder. But for home, no reason to. I'll go ahead and go straight to the Boston butts. They cook a lot faster and get that same result. So as you can see over here, these are the products that we're actually going to be putting on them. Like you see on all my videos, I'm a Heath Ryle fan. Let's go and talk a little bit about seasonings, what we're going to do to this tomorrow morning, and then we'll get right into actually start trimming this up. This one I'm trimming, usually I don't, but this one has a lot of fat in it, and I have a knife, so I feel like I got to trim something. So with any type of meat, I always put a first layer. Salt, pepper, garlic. So I'll be running Heath's Everyday Rub as our first base. Then I'll be running his sweet, which is right here. His sweet rub. That's my barbecue rub. Now you don't have to use Heath Ryle's products. I highly recommend them. They have great flavor. Always get a great product. But there's 1,000 different everyday rubs or seasonal, or they have different names. But it's salt, pepper, and garlic. If you want to get a little fancy, you can get one that has some jalapeno in it, which he makes. I love that one. But we're cooking this one for the masses, so I really don't want to burn them out too much. So that's a great base flavor. Whether I do chicken, pork, steak, I always start with an everyday rub. Your sweet rub, you can go with, there's 1,000 of them out there. I love, like I said, Heath Ryle's. You can go with Killer Hogs. You can go with Sweet Swan of Mine. You can go with whoever at your local grocery store that has a good, solid, sweet rub. It's great for your second layer. And then I start layering my flavors on top of that. So then I'll hit it with the honey chipotle, because I do want a little bit of bite with my sweet. So you definitely want to go with something that has a little bit of heat on it. I love his honey chipotle. It's perfect. And then I'll layer one more on it right as I put it on the grill. And I'm going to go with his pecan rub. It's a phenomenal rub. You saw one of my other videos where I used apple, I've used cherry, I've used peach. That pecan just kind of sets this one off for me. I like the way it tastes. And then we have his sweet sauce, his tangy. We'll go ahead and make a combination sauce with that one to actually serve with it. And then I'll baste it with his based and marinade. That is a great one to put it on the grill. It gives a great color. So I'll use his full product line on this one. This big tub right here, this is his injection. It's, one of the major things that we talk about in barbecue is consistency. And if you ever talk to Heath Ryle's, you watch one of his videos, he lives by consistency. So we use his injection. Every time I make an injection, it's going to taste the same. I know I'm putting out the exact same product. So you can make your own injection at home. You don't have to use his. We mix ours with apple juice. You can mix it with pineapple. You can mix it with, I've seen people put apple juice, obviously, pineapple, apple vinegar, whatever. There's 100 recipes online that you can find to make your own marinade or your injection. So injections mostly for really pushing more moisture into the meat So as it smokes and it renders, you're not losing so much liquid. So that's the product line we're going to go with. So let's go and dive in and start trimming this up. So like I said before, the reason I'm trimming this up is because you have all this fat up here. So I'm going to start just trimming it off. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to be clean as far as, you know, trying to make it look pretty, because we're not trying to serve this to judges. All I'm doing is I'm going to pull off some of this stretchy fat, as I call it. It's fat that I don't think will render down. You know, you have big pockets of fat, it's not going to render. Also silver skin, that silver skin, that will not render out. So the last thing I want to do is do some pulled pork, and then whenever my guests are eating this, they suddenly take a huge bite of fat. So some of this will render out, some of it won't. But when I go to pull it, I will have to take my time and pull that out. So all I'm doing is taking the big chunks off. I'm not really losing any meat here. But, so I'm not going to do a whole lot to it. Like I said, I'm just going to get off some of the big stuff. Now, one thing you do look for in competition is the money muscle. So the easiest way to find the money muscle is find the bone, which is the shank. This is the shank. So you have two pieces. Right here is the shank, or they call it the blade. And then what it does, it goes in and curls. So this is actually what attaches to the actual leg. This is what attaches to the upper shoulder. So right here, if you find that bone, the round piece, go to the exact opposite side, and you'll find your money muscle. Now this is a real small money muscle, so I actually probably wouldn't use this one in competition. I'll probably just go ahead and let it cook, and then use it for my chunks, or my bark, or even some pull, depending on the comp I'm at. So that's all I'm going to do at the top. Look at the bottom. This right here, you see on Facebook all the time, people ask fat side up or fat side down. I live by, depending on your smoker. You really can't, that's not a fair question, because if you have a direct heat where the heat's coming from the bottom, like the GMGs, or if you have a offset smoker, you want that fat side down. That's going to protect your meat. Now, if you have like a backwoods, where it's reverse, where the heat comes in from the top, fat side up. So you want to put your fat in between your source of your heat and your meat. All that is for protection. So all you YouTubers out there, or all the guys that are Googling this, that's what you want to look for. So hopefully I answered that question for you guys. So now that I got it pretty much trimmed up the way I want it for this, get that out of my way, I'm going to go ahead and inject it. So when I first started barbecue, I had a single injector you get with like the Creole injection or the single needle. I've upgraded since then. These right here is a power injector. It's a pump. Let me bring it up front. So it's a pump with 4 needles. All this does is allow me to put more liquid in here faster. That's it. Really doesn't do any different. So if I press, you'll notice if I press the trigger, it shoots out. And so this is nothing but 64 ounces of apple juice to a cup of his injection. That's it, nothing else in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, start at the bottom. I'm going to start at the back and just kind of work my way up. So I'll find a spot, hit the trigger, and you'll notice it'll start swelling up on us. And then here, and then I got a pump. So usually I have on my team, I'll have someone that's running the pump for me so that I can quickly go through this. And when I flip this over, you'll see what I mean when I say it's swelling up. So, all right, so let's flip it over. So you see that money muscle, I'm gonna go straight to that money muscle like I would in a comp. And I wanna hit that money muscle really good. You'll see it swelling up. So the question I usually get is, how much do I put in? Answer that one is as much as you can. So usually I'll wait until it's pretty full, or it keeps coming out to where I can't really put a whole lot more in it. I'm looking for different tubes in here that I know where they're at on here just because of experience. So, yeah. Let's keep on going. It's caught on my table. So, now you notice how swole that is. So I'm going to stop there. And that's it. That's all I'm doing to these tonight. Once I'm done, I'm gonna throw them in a gallon or a 2.5 gallon Ziploc bag, pour the rest of my injection in there, throw it in the fridge overnight, and then tomorrow I can go ahead and start rubbing these. So I got 3 more to do. I'm gonna knock those out, and then the next time you see me, we'll be ready to start putting rub on them. So I will catch y'all tomorrow when I start that piece, all right? Hey guys, so we're back. These have been in the fridge for a couple of hours now. We're going to get them on the smoker. We're going to throw them in our gym buoy, which is the big one. So I'll introduce you to that one. It's dark outside, but that's okay. We'll show you what we got. So I pulled them out. The only thing I've done is taken a paper towel and patted them dry to go and get off some of the excess liquid. And we're going to use our yellow mustard to act as a binder. All this is glue. So in one of the previous videos, I showed y'all the clean hand, dirty hand. Same thing. My right hand's always my clean hand. My left hand's always my dirty hand. So I want to go ahead and shake this up first. There you go. We're going to put a little light coat of mustard. Then I'm going to rub it in. All I'm doing is giving it something that the rub can stick to stop it from falling off. And usually I do the bottom first, then I'll flip it to the top. So I told you earlier, you want to layer flavors. So my first layer is going to be Heath Riles' Everyday Rub. I'll go probably a medium coat on this. And honey, if you don't mind, go ahead and get a zoom in on this, kind of bring it over here and kind of see what I've got going on here. All I'm doing is kind of getting all the way around it on the bottom. And getting a good solid coat. Now this has a fat cap on it, so I'm going to go heavy on the first coat. Not about medium really. And I'll get the sides and everything, so you'll see me roll it left and right, things like that. Alright, my next one is going to be the sweet rub. So I'm going to come back and hit it with my sweet rub. Now typically at a competition, when I do this, I'll usually let it sit for about 30-45 minutes between each coat. What I want it to do is sweat and start pulling out some of the juices and letting that meat go ahead, or letting the rub go ahead and penetrate the meat. Usually when I cook for friends and family, I don't really go to that extent. But it's still really good the way that I'm doing it this way. So now I'm going to go ahead and pat this in. All I'm doing is kind of just pressing it in, have it stick. So that's my first 2 coats. Then I'm going to come back with the honey chipotle. Like I said, all we're doing is layering flavors on this. So I want to make sure I get some good flavor on the bark. And I usually don't go too heavy on the last coat, but I will make sure I got plenty of it on here. Once again, I'm going to pat it in, kind of help it stick a little bit. And there we go. So now I'm about to do the sides and do the top. So like I said, you'll notice a lot falls off, but that's why I put so much on there, because I know I'll lose some, especially whenever I'm not letting it really sit and let it fill in. Gotta find all my rubs, I got so many of them. So we'll get the sides real good. Then I want to roll it. I know you see me using my other hand, sometimes you have to when you don't have your buddies here on your barbecue team. Kind of got to make do with what you got. But for the most part, I'm keeping it clean. Kind of helps me keep everything off of my my rubs. So what this is actually going to do is going to create a bark. All the sugars in these rubs are going to break down, create a beautiful bark on this, and you'll see that tomorrow, as you see, or today, as you see me pull it off. Kind of see what we have going on. All right, so that's done. I'm going to go and flip it all the way over. Then I have the top. So same thing with this one. Turn it one way. A little bit of mustard. And don't be afraid to get heavy on your rubs. Like I said, don't be afraid to try out different rubs. I mean, really, it's all about flavor. I really never really ran across a barbecue rub that I was like, this is horrible. Everybody has a palate. Everyone has different flavors they like. So, you know, you just experiment. I mean, that's a great thing about barbecues is the experimenting of, you know, cooking with different flavor profiles. I've done Asian barbecue. I've done Japanese barbecue, sticky barbecue. So really just, you know, have fun with it. That's the main thing. Barbecue is supposed to be fun. All right, so that's how it's done. So we're going to flip them both over and then get the top. Same thing. Now you'll see me put the rub on the top a little the same way I did the bottom. I didn't do the sides with the other ones, but you'll see me do it at the top the same way I always do. All right, so start the end. Move that out of the way for you. Oh, I don't want to do that. Use my dirty hand, don't do that. Usually you have a couple of guys on your barbecue team helping you out here. Helps you keep things clean, refill bottles and such. So, a little bit harder when you're by yourself. But I love the color that this rub gives it. It gives it a nice red color. So that's going to tell me it's going to tack up nicely, give you that beautiful color you want whenever you're in competition especially. Alright, so we got the sweet on there. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with some of the honey chipotle. Like I said, I'm going to go heavier on the top because there's really no fat cap to really stop this from really sinking in. There you go. Beautiful color. Now, the one thing I am going to add is I'm going to hit it with his pecan rub. Like I said, this is probably one of my favorite rubs of all of them. But if you notice, it's all about layering of flavors. So don't be afraid to play with flavors. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to smoke this. I usually throw it on at 225, smoke it for about 4 to 5 hours, wrap it with 50-50 sauce, which is 50% is sweet, 50% is tangy, and then wrap it, put it back on there, and let it finish. But I'm actually going to run this at 180 for about 6 to 7 hours, and then I'm going to see where I'm at, wrap it, and then move on. So I will see you here in a few minutes. I got 2 more butts to do, and then we'll be ready to put them on the grill. So I'll see y'all here in a little bit. Let me get everything done, and I'll see y'all in a few, okay? All right, guys. So like I said, it's early in the morning. It's dark out, which I love. This is one of my favorite times in barbecue is when really I'm by myself. Got my dogs out here with me. Sit out here and just relax. That's the great thing about barbecue is once you put it on, you can kind of chill out and relax, have a beer, or go to bed. So this right here is our Jim Bowie. I know it's dark. You can probably barely see it. It's about to come a huge thunderstorm. So, hey, cooking in the rain. That's what we do, right? But this is our big one, our Jim Bowie. Like I said, it's set to 180. We're going to go and put the meat on. We got good smoke coming from it, a clear, nice tint blue smoke. Smells amazing. I'm using apple wood or the apple pellets. So let's go and stick it on. So like I told you, the tip inside, I'm going to go and pull the air rack out and transfer it right to the grill. And then I want to run some meat probes in it so I can keep an idea of the temperature without having to walk out here and open it every time. So we're going to pull that out. Sorry for the mess we are in my backyard. So I'm going to do 2 of these right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set them right in here. Slide it all the way back, just like that. The other 2 will go right here. While I'm at it, I'm going to add some meat probes. And this just helps me kind of keep an eye on the temperature. So when you probe your meat, just push it far enough where the tip of the probe is about halfway into the meat. Plug it in. And then I'm also going to go ahead and plug in the GMG meat probe so the GMG knows what's going on. I want to shut that. We're going to go inside, grab the other 2, put them on, do the exact same process, and then it's just time to relax. So I will see y'all in about 7 hours whenever we're ready to wrap, and then we'll see where we're at, all right? So I'll talk to y'all later. Hey guys, Jason Wiggs here. It is now the next morning. It's around 8:30 in the morning. So let's go and check on these butts. They've been on for right at 10 hours. Haven't wrapped them yet. Been running low and slow. Check them out. So I'm getting some good smoke from the GMG. I don't know how well you can see this, so let's see how we can do here. There they are, looking beautiful. So
It looked good. I like the color. I like the bark. So I usually cook by color, and also I cook by, I use temp and color. Right now they're at about 140, 126, 147. So right in about the 135 range, somewhere in there. So I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping these up. They should take about another 4 hours to cook, just knowing my past experience at 225. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling the tin foil, get it wrapped up, get them back on. So my wife's gone, she's running around, so I'm kind of by myself right now. So I'm going to set the camera down, go ahead and do what I can, and then I'll record it as well, kind of show you. So I'm actually going to put some sauce on it, do a few other things. So I will check back with you when I'm ready to wrap. Alright guys, we're back. So the butts are ready. I went in and got everything prepped up to go ahead and start wrapping these butts. This butt has a beautiful color on it. I love the bark. I love everything about this one. So let's go ahead and start getting everything mixed in that I need. So right here we have 50-50 sauce with Heath Wild's 50% sweet, 50% of his vinegar. So it's just a real easy mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and go right on the top with that. Just a nice little coat on that, on just right here on top. And then I want to come back with a little bit of the sweet rub that we used earlier. And I want to finish it up with a little bit of that honey chipotle. Once again, we're just layering flavors, guys. That's all we're trying to do. Nothing crazy. Now we're going to wrap it up. I mean, that's pretty simple. So I do it in a pan. It actually does make it a little bit easier for me to wrap. So there's no really specific way to do this because I'm actually not even going to open it until the until we're ready to pull it. So, like I said, real simple. Wrap it up nice and tight. Now what that's going to do is keep all the extra juices in there and stop it from getting any more smoke. So that's it, guys. That's all we're doing to this. I got it on there. I'm going to do the other three, get them back on the grill. Probably about 4 hours from now, it'll be ready to eat. So I will check back with you then. Let me go and knock this out. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys. All right, well, we're finally back. It is now around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Butts have been on for right at 15 hours. Very happy with them. So we're going to bring them out, break them down, taste it. Let's see what it looks like, all right? So when I open up the tin foil, there's so much juice in here, it's not even funny. So I'm going to pull this out, break it down, shred it, and then kind of go from there. And I already can tell you I can't pull it out in one lump. So there it is. And then always a good sign is when you pull the bone out clean. There's a bone, beautiful. So let's see what we got going on, all right? So, I mean, look at the color on this. Let me bring this chunk right here. So look at the color on that. Get a little closer. I mean, beautiful color, falls apart. Now, I'm actually pulling this for a party night, so I'm going to start pulling a little bit and kind of set it off to the side. This is obviously a lot, a little bit more tender than I would do in a competition. But for parties, they like it when it's, just mush. So that's all good. I'm fine with that. I mean, as long as they're happy, I'm happy. But I'm getting some great color on this. All right, here's an inner loin. This is what I was looking for. This is one of the tubes I normally would use in a comp. Man, packed full of flavor. That's stupid. I mean, you can taste the smoke in it, even in an inner tube. You can taste the smoke. You can taste the injection that I put in. Add a little bit of the rub and a little bit more of the au jus that came off of it. Man. That's good barbecue. So, I will also post the recipe on what I did. So, not only will you be able to see me make it, but you'll also be able to do it yourself at home as well. So, let me go and get this shredded so I can get to this party, all right? So, I will check with y'all later. Thanks.